So what's the highest profile case that you've ever worked on?
It's really hard to rank them. The one that, there's a couple different ones. One I remember was a gang related. It turned out to be an attempted murder case. It was out in Korea when there were two sets of soldiers, and one was in a gangster disciple, had affiliation. The other one had affiliations with 𝗕𝗏𝗼, and they were all in this club together, and they were throwing up gang signs. It was getting really heated, and one of the members of the gangster disciple gang stepped on the girl's toes of someone that was in the 𝗕𝗏𝗼 gang, and they started fighting. And it all broke out into the street. And in Korea, this was an 𝗕𝗓𝗓 area, back when Youngsan was still open. They have security cameras everywhere, and there was a massive brawl. And there was a stabbing which occurred. My client was accused of a stabbing. And you can see bottles being broken over people's heads, kicking. And my client was accused of pulling out a knife and stabbing the other gang member in the chest, I believe 8 different times in the chest. He had to be airlifted out of there, and it was a very, very violent scene. The other soldier thankfully lived. He had a collapsed lung, significant damage that was done, but he didn't live. So it was an attempted murder charge, but it was all over the news in Korea and in the Army Times, because now we have this gang-related activity which happened in the Army. No one thinks of gang-related activity happening in the military, but a lot of times people are in these gangs and they join the military. They're of course not going to disclose that to their recruiter, and they bring that along with them. And so there was this gang-related activity, and that became very high profile. At trial, it was very high profile. There was a lot of media there. Ultimately, he was acquitted. And so ultimately, at the end of the trial, he was found not guilty of all charges and specifications. So it was a great result for us, but that was just one of many I'm thinking about now that was a fairly high profile. It was a lot of fun the case was a lot of fun to try, and it was a great result, but it was very unique because of all of the gang activity that took place.